Hello everybody, welcome back to another red shirt video. Excuse me if I'm a little shaky. I got a selfie stick. I'm going to try this out. I haven't made a video in a while. Had a lot going on. We had a medical event in the family, and I'm not going to go into that too much, but I haven't been able to make a video in a little while, and I probably won't be for a while. But where I live, we had a bunch of storms and did quite a bit of damage. A lot of trees down, a lot of people without electricity. My house escaped relatively unscathed, so that's good and that's a blessing. But I'm over at my dad's house today. He had a huge elm tree, and it had about, I don't know, 5 or 6 shoots coming off of it, limbs that just have grown straight up, and they are each one of those is bigger around than my waist, and 3 of them broke off and fell towards the alley. And the power's been out for about 3 days. Now, power got restored last night. Frank, you be good. The power got restored last night, but there's a lot of limbs laying down, big ones laying down on the ground. I was over here 2 days ago, and I worked for the better part of the day. I had a small chainsaw and some clippers and stuff, and trying to get the canopy was hanging upside down, and so I was trying to clip what I could up 5 or 6 feet high, and then I waited for the electric company to come and do what they had to do to get it off the lines. And when they did that, there were 3 main, call them branches, but each one of them's like a tree in and of itself. 3 of those were still attached to the tree or hanging from the tree. One of those fell when the electric company cut what they had to cut. So I went and bought a real chainsaw, and I got a Husqvarna, and it seems to be a pretty good one. So I'm going to cut what I can today, and maybe do some more hauling, get it out front so the city can pick it up. And I thought I might as well bring you along, since I had a friend or two asking if I was going to film it. You know, sometimes when you're in the middle of a crisis, you don't want to stop and film. You just want to get it done as best you can and get it over with. And that's what I did the other day. But there's, I'm going to turn you around here in a second. You're going to see there is plenty still to witness and to see and to do with, it's a mess. So anyway, without further ado, here we go. There's what's left of the tree. There you can see one of the limbs that broke off, and there are 2. One is still connected, and one is leaning on the one that's still connected. And there's the 3rd one. And like I said, that is bigger around than my waist. And so yeah, I went and bought a real chainsaw. Yeah, let's see. So there are the 2 that are still laying down. It took out the neighbor's, well, the fence between my dad and the neighbor, and it also took out one of his storage buildings. It's probably like a 10 by 10 or 12 by 12 little metal building, but it just flattened it, and you can still see the limbs laying up over there. And I can't really get to it now, but I had everything that you're seeing right here. I had it all clear yesterday, and there's a gate back there that leads to the alley, and I cleared the alley. I had it clear up against the fence line, and like I say, all of this. But then when the electric company cut what they had to cut, this big one came crashing down. And my dad has an old greenhouse here, and it took out one panel at the end, but Be honest with you, this thing has outlived its life anyway, but we're pretty fortunate it just didn't flatten it, but it's all good now. So, yeah, I'm going to get busy cutting some of this big stuff. So let me get you set up on a stand, and here we go. This is what I bought. Husqvarna 450. It's a used one. Got it from the pawn shop. She's a beaut, Clark. That chainsaw is a hoss, but it needs a new blade. So I got a lot of my mess cleaned up. This is where that last limb fell. You can still see the biggest part of the trunk right there. I still have some brush and smaller limbs about the size of my leg to clean up off the ground over there, and that's the alley over there. There's a gate over there. But what I'm going to do now, I'm going to back you up. So if you look up here, there are two huge limbs. Basically they're trunks in and of themselves, but one is still caught right there and the other is just laying on it. So I'm going to get up there and cut on that a little bit with a pole saw. I've got this ladder. There's an old section of trunk right here that was cut off, and the ladder's leaning against that, and so it's away from that trunk and it's pretty safe, and I'm going to have the pole saw on a pretty far reach. So I'm going to try to cut on that a little bit. What I'd like to do, I don't know if I can do it, is cut at least that bark, cut about 3 or 4 inches into it, so that if I can get that limb to fall, it won't just shred the whole thing all the way down the tree. This tree needs to be taken down. Let's see if I can get you up there. There's still a couple of big trunks up there that are leaning off the other way. They need to come down eventually, but they're still alive for now. I thought about coming over here and cutting this and letting it fall to the ground, but the problem is it's very dangerous. This is under a lot of tension, a lot of pressure, and when I was cutting those smaller limbs, it would snap, and if you cut a big enough one, it can roll. It can roll towards you or away from you, either way, but it's kind of unpredictable, and I'm trying to avoid that. So I'm gonna try to get on this side of the tree and be hidden and use that pole saw just to cut that. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not a trained professional, and if something goes wrong, you probably won't be seeing this video. So I think the camera shut off, but I was just getting it to start moving. It's too dangerous where I was. It shifted a little bit, so I'm going to I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm maybe going to go on that other side and start cutting a little bit. So I guess you saw that. I'm pretty much exhausted, so I don't think all the rest of this is going to get cleaned up today, but believe it or not, it's manageable to where somebody could do most of it in one day. All that big stuff, let's call it another day. That's what we're looking at, but everything's down. The danger is past. So now it's just a matter of cleaning up. I'm going home, going to rest and eat some lunch.